Hi, it's Stacy. Um, Today I wanted to do a video on something that's near and dear to my heart, and that is online dating and the plus size girl. Um, it actually is not just for online dating. I guess it's mostly dating in general, and doesn't necessarily need to go with plus size, because a lot of it is geared towards just everyone in general, and I guess it really doesn't even go just for women. Men could listen to this too, because it goes for men too. Anyway, these are my advice, and I'll tell you, I am in no way, shape, or form an expert on online dating because I'm 44 years old and I'm single, so obviously I haven't mastered it yet. But that doesn't mean I'm a failure. No, it just means that I haven't found the right person yet. And you'll realize that even if you have dates that are not successful, or I wouldn't even say not successful, or dates that didn't turn into anything, that doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that wasn't the right person for you, and congratulations to you for actually realizing that. So there's nothing wrong with dating around, and not every date's going to work out, and it doesn't mean that that person was an awful person. It just means that it didn't work out. You weren't compatible, and that's fine. But these are some rules, guidelines that I've come across, whether through my personal experience or through, um, checking out online and on YouTube different videos to find out what works and doesn't work. And I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible. I tend to be a little wordy, so I've been told, but uh, I hope it's not too long, and I hope I don't bore you. So um, let's get started. Okay, so first off is confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, um, you deserve to be loved and respected. You deserve it. So act like it, because it's true. So have confidence in yourself and confidence in who you are, and that you have every right to find your Mr. or Mrs. Right. You do. You do. So, yeah, confidence is a big, big thing. And I'm going to be honest, even if you don't have the confidence, act like you do. Because if you don't act like someone who deserves to be loved and respected, you're not going to get it. If you don't believe it, nobody else will. So, really, you deserve it. You deserve to be loved. When you go out on a date with somebody, it's not them doing you a favor. Don't act like they're doing you a favor. Be appreciative. It's important to be appreciative because, that person is spending their time of their day, of their life to be with you and spend this time with you, and appreciate that. But it's not a favor. You're there for each other. It's a two-way street. So don't always act like, oh, it's such a big favor for them to be going out with you. Um, hey, it's their privilege to be spending time with you. So have that confidence in there, and if you're not totally there with the confidence yet, act like you are. They'll never know. Just do it. um, Next is, when going on a date and meeting someone, be on time. It is so important to um, that first impression. And if you're a half hour late, that's not going to be a good first impression. It's going to give the impression that it wasn't really that important to you. I understand things happen and you may be running late. Text, call, boom. You're going to be a few minutes late, and give a time that you expect to be there, so that the person isn't there waiting and wondering, and it's just not it's not nice. Common courtesy. Gonna be late, let someone know, and do um, everything in your power to be on time. It's just common courtesy. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, do not fall for scams. By this, I mean there's people out there, there's different types of scams, whether it's for money, whether it's for attention, whether it's just to plain hurt you, or to get you to do things that maybe you shouldn't be doing. Um, don't fall for them. Um, if there's the biggest sign of a person who's trying to scam you is if it's too much too soon. You know, you talk to somebody a few times and all of a sudden they're, I love you, or you are like no other woman I've ever met. You are the best thing in the world. Yeah, I know I'm good. I know I'm special, but you don't know it yet. You don't know it that quickly. I'm sorry, but um, when something's too good to be true, it's too good to be true, plain and simple. Um, I watch Catfish. You know, if you're talking to somebody online, but yet they don't call you, or if you live close by and, you know, after a couple of weeks of talking and they're not trying to meet you, there's something wrong. Whether they're married or they have a significant other or they're just not who they say they are, all those are forms of scams. All of a sudden they have a sick grandmother and they need to fly somewhere and they don't have the money and no, no, that doesn't fly well with me. No, don't put yourself in that situation. Um, use your head, use your instincts. You know, just don't let yourself be scammed. There's some strange people out there, uh, so you got to protect yourself. So yeah, watch out for those. Um, while going on your date, ladies, um, the clothes that you choose to wear. I think it's important to image is very important. First impression, I'm sorry, it's important. You don't want to wear anything too tight or too revealing. Now, I take pictures on these websites, you know, like the social networking websites that have a low cut. They show some cleavage, and you want to show off your assets, you know, your good points and what you think is, you know, what's going to attract the opposite sex. But in that form, I do have something, you know, I'll have a picture low cut because that is one instant in time where you can strategically place, you know, yourself and so there's no chance of you turning and slipping and showing a little more than you should. It's not like it's distracting from a conversation. And it's also, let's be honest, men are visual. I say that all the time, and men always cringe when I say that, but men are visual. And if you're looking through all these pictures on a networking site, you want to do something that's going to catch a gentleman's eye and pique his interest. So men are visual. Yeah, I can understand you showing a little more cleavage, but when you go out on that date, when you're going out, you want him to focus on you, not you, not here. So I think it's really important to wear something that is sexy but tasteful. I'm not saying you don't show any cleavage, but leave a little bit to the imagination. And the same thing, you don't want to go as if you're going on a job interview or anything like that, or to a baseball game. Something sexy but tasteful, I think is the way to go. You know, too tight, not attractive. Too low cut, too distracting. But you know, I think you know what I'm talking about, right? You were smart. I think you know. Yeah. So plan that out. Not too, you know, not too tight, but pretty. You know, make yourself look nice. On the same line along that is your makeup. Not too heavy makeup, my suggestion would be, because you're going to be there for a few hours. You know, you don't want the raccoon eyes to be going. You don't want the lipstick to all be smearing all over the place. You're going to be drinking, eating, and you know, it's just not very attractive when, you know, your lipstick smears and you start to look like Ronald McDonald or something like that. Nothing against Ronald McDonald, but I just think that most men, you know, don't want to date Ronald McDonald, right? I don't think so. So yeah, I would just say, and I did read something. I don't know if it was either something I read or a video that I saw where they did a survey of men who were shown three pictures of a pretty woman. And the first one, she had like no makeup on. The second one, she had, like natural makeup, and then the third one all glammed out and all that. And they would ask the men, which they would prefer to, to go on a first date with. Um, Most of them picked the middle of the road, the middle picture. So I thought that was um, pretty interesting, because you always think of man wants a woman to be all glammed out. But I think that's their fantasy. But in reality, and who they meet and who they want to date is more the natural middle of the road. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule. There's different types of people, but I'm just going for a general rule here. The next point I'd like to make is women, especially bigger women, um, don't pig out at dinner. I know it's a double standard, because the skinny woman could be eating, and it's cute, it's fun. It's like, oh man, look, she could really pack it in. Where does she keep it? Where does she put it? But with a plus size woman, they know where you put it. There's no mystery there. So I think it loses a little bit of its attraction there. So I think that safe to say, with a bigger woman, um, I think that you should keep it lighter. Don't pig out. I think there are some men that it wouldn't bother at all. And I'm sure that there's a lot of men it won't bother even on a first date. That was like, it won't bother them at all. Some men may even like it. I don't know, but for general rule, I would always say, don't out eat the man. Bottom line. Okay. The next one is a very important one, and that is, don't get drunk. Don't get sloshed. Don't. I don't really drink that much. It's not really an issue, but so a lot of times I won't even have a drink at all. But a lot of times you might need something to calm your nerves, whatever. But don't get drunk. And there's a few reasons, a few serious reasons on why not to. First of all, you've probably, if this is a first date, you probably met there at the restaurant or wherever, the bar, wherever you are. You probably met there, so you took separate cars, so you're driving. Don't drink and drive. Um, if you're a little bit nervous, you might be drinking more than you think. And plus, eating lighter, you may not, you may not be able to hold your liquor as much. So, really, be safe. Don't drink and drive. So yeah, keep the drinks to a minimum. Also, it's never pretty to see a sloppy drunk woman, or man. Or man, this goes for the men too, the drunk driving and the sloppy drunks. Neither one is very attractive. And also, when you're drinking, you don't always have all your wits about you, and you may not make the best decisions. So you may get caught in a situation where you end up doing something that you wouldn't normally do. And you really don't want to put yourself in that situation. I think you know kind of what I'm talking about. Not to say that every man or woman would take advantage of somebody who has had too much to drink, but don't even put yourself in that situation to allow that to happen. It's just, it's totally avoidable. So just avoid it. I would just not, don't get drunk. Limit your alcohol on there. Um, Topics of conversation. So there, I'll start with the ones that I think are probably not the best topics of conversation. The first one would be exes. um, you may get into a little bit of a conversation about them. I mean, sometimes if they're, he may bring it up or she may bring it up, the exes, but try and keep it. Don't get into the long story of how terrible they are or everything they've done wrong to you and all that. And I would steer clear of that, because I think that the men may be thinking, well, if guys don't like confrontation, especially with a woman, they don't like that female male confrontation. They'll do whatever they can to avoid it. So if you're going to be talking about that and everything that happened between you and your ex and how terrible he is, he might be sitting there thinking, she's talking about her ex like that. She might talk about me like that or do these things to me. If things, if we start to date and things don't work out. So I would always steer clear of that, especially, keep it very light, keep it very non-confrontational. Um, as far as conversations about the ex, if you even go there, it's probably wise to not even go there. Another conversation to steer away from, and you're gonna be like, what? But we gotta talk about this, is sex. Sex. Don't talk about it. It's gonna. You guys are both adults, and you know what's on your mind. Men think about sex a lot. Women think about sex a lot. But when you are dating in that, when you're going on that first date, I think it's wise to keep it very casual and light. You don't need to. I mean, and I think that a lot of men will talk about sex and they'll ask you questions that I think they don't really want to know the answer to. They may think they want to know the answer to it, but I think that once they know, or once you open up and you tell them, you start spilling out your whole sexual history, I think that's kind of a turnoff, or it may put you into a different category, not a possible girlfriend category, but maybe you might go into a category that you don't really want to be in, and that might be the short-term category. So I would always keep it light. They don't need to know, not every man needs to know your sexual history, your sexual preferences, what you like, what turns you on. They don't all need to know that. They're going to ask. Come on, man, you know who you're going to ask. But you don't need to tell a man that. On the first date, let them, in time, if he is someone who's going to be around for a while, he will find out those things. There's a time and place for it. Not every first date guy needs to know all all about you and what you like, and they don't need to know that. Leave a little mystery. Let them find out some things on their own. Or, there's so much time to do that. And that's the fun of a relationship, is learning those things and finding out those things. So don't give it all away. So leave a little bit to his imagination and keep him wondering. That's what's going to keep him coming back. Um, Subjects to talk about is work. Work is always pretty safe, though you have to be careful not to get too boring. Ask a man about his job, his career. A man likes to talk about things like that because that's kind of how they define themselves as a man, and how successful is their job. I learned that from Steve Harvey, so it's got to be true. So talk about work, talk about a man's job. If you have kids, talk about your kids, or his kids if he has children. Because I know with me, my face lights up when I talk about my kids, because I love my kids. And every man likes to know, well, I won't say every man, but most men, most good men, want to know that a woman is a good mother. If you have kids, men want to know you're a good mother. So I think that's really important. And I know for me, if a man has children, I want to know he's a good father, and I want to hear him talk about his kids, because that's something near and dear to him. And I think that that's showing that you care what he cares about. So I think that that's a good thing. I'm sorry, my computer is on is on like a little pedestal thing, so I keep knocking it and it's shaking back and forth. I apologize. Um, but I think that kids is a great thing. Now that can also get into talking about the exes, because you're talking about the person you're co-parenting with. But that's okay as long as you still keep that light. And if ladies, if he has a good relationship with the mother of his children, if he has children and he has a good relationship co-parenting with them, don't be jealous. That shows a good man. That's a sign of a good man, because he puts his kids first. He puts his kids' needs first, and that's what's important. So don't be showing jealousy. That's another thing. Don't be showing jealousy, especially on a first date. You don't have jealousy rights whatsoever. He has every right to talk to other women, to go out with other women. You are not an exclusive relationship. One date does not an exclusive relationship make. So don't be pulling the jealousy. Oops, sorry. Don't be pulling the jealousy card. It's just, you don't have that right. And same thing with the men. You don't have that right. At least not yet. um, Now getting to the good night. To kiss or not to kiss? That is the question. And the answer is totally up to you. I feel there is absolutely nothing wrong with if a man wants to kiss you on the first date, if he wants to kiss you goodnight, if he asks you for a kiss or he leans in for a kiss, if you had a good time and you want to kiss him, by all means, go ahead and do it. Now, I'm not saying stick your tongue down his throat or let his hands wander or roam all around you. No. Even if you're interested, you don't need to be doing that the first date. He'll ask for a second date and then, you progress into that. But I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with showing a man you're interested in giving him a kiss. Keep it tasteful. Like I said, don't be groping and all that. There's time for that. There's a lot of time for that, not the first date. You go on a lot of first dates. Not every guy deserves to be groped by you or deserves to grope you. So, um, now the after date contact. Should the woman, is it okay for the woman to contact the man, or does she wait for the guy to contact her? This is another thing that is totally up to you. I personally wait for the man. That's me. I guess I'm a little old-fashioned that way. I wait for the man because Steve Harvey again told me that if a man is interested, he will pursue you. If a man wants a woman, he's going to do what he can to get her. Now, along the same line with that is men and women are very different. They're not wired the same way. So if a man takes a week to call you back, don't be mad at him. Do not be mad at him because he may have other things in his life that he feels he needs to take care of before contacting you. I mean, women are different. Women will want to call you on the way home. That's how women are. They like somebody, they want to go in full force, and everything else in their lives will work itself out. But a man usually wants to get other things settled in his life. If he sees a woman that he wants to make sure he is man enough for that woman, and that's just their nature. So if he takes a week to call you back, ladies, don't be mad. That's just his way. And he called you back. So don't be mad. On the same thing as if, do you contact him? If you really want to just drop him a line and say, I just want to let you know I had a good time and, thank you. There's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't do it, but I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. But I wouldn't really go after and call him, or I wouldn't put added pressure. I wouldn't put added pressure there. If he wants to pursue you, it's in a man's nature, I think, to pursue you. If he wants you, he may take his time. Men and women are different, and this is probably my last point that I want to make is men and women. I have learned in my 44 years that they're very different. I've learned it from watching my parents, and they've been married for 53 years, and they're still different. They're still married, they're still happy, they're still different. They handle things differently. So men and women are different. Don't fight it. Do not fight it. Men are never going to understand women totally. Women are not going to understand men. And I can't talk for men, but I can talk for as a woman. I'm never going to understand a man, but you know what? All I need to understand is that they are different, and I embrace that. I accept it and embrace it. They're different, and some of the things that may aggravate me about a man is part of what makes me like a man also. They don't like conflict, so sometimes when you want to talk about something, they don't want to talk about it. Well, that's a man. They don't want those little petty little things. They don't care about that crap. So just accept it. You have girlfriends for stuff like that, so just accept it. Accept the differences and embrace them. So that was my little spiel about dating and relationships. So like I said, I am no expert, but I've lived quite a while in the dating world, so I've seen a lot and I've read a lot, and I've read some books, by men and women, so I kind of try and get the man's point of view. So yeah, that's my little advice. All of it is taken with a grain of salt. Please don't think that I'm trying to be some kind of relationship guru or anything like that, because I'm not. It's kind of funny, with a grain of salt and just my own advice. And please, if you have any comments or anything, let me know. Comment below. You agree, disagree, found the same things, found different things. Please let me know. Comment below, message me. Um, However, text me. I got in trouble for saying text me. But yeah, just comment and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I know this video ran over than what I wanted to, so congratulations if you're still listening. More power to you. I really appreciate that. So you take care, and thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by. You have a great day. Bye.